Hello my lovelies, you're welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, then please hit the subscribe button down below. It's absolutely free and helps my channel grow. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a bodycon skirt. Now, this is not just the regular bodycon skirt. This bodycon skirt has just one seam. So all you need to do is sew only one seam. Okay, that's excluding the band. It doesn't have a zipper. It's really easy to make. So if you want to make a very easy quick skirt that wouldn't take your time, you can do this in as little as 10 minutes, then definitely keep on watching. The fabric we're going to use is a Lycra fabric. It is a very stretchy Lycra fabric, so you need to get a fabric that is very stretchy. You could use a velvet fabric, poly fabric, or scuba fabric, whatever you have, as long as it's really stretchy, because since there will be no zipper, you want it to go on easily and go off easily as well. I also have tutorials on how to make a regular pencil skirt, so if you're interested in that, you can click the link right here. But if you want to see how to make an easier version, a quicker version of a pencil skirt in as little as 10 minutes, then definitely keep on watching.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there.
So you need a very stretchy fabric for this. I'm using the Lycra fabric and I'm using 1 yard. The first thing I did was I simply just drew the hemline. Because the fabric is pretty uneven, I'm just drawing the hemline. I'm drawing the baseline as well, just so that everything is nice and straight. And I'm just trimming out the fabric at that along that baseline that I drew. Now the length of my skirt is 21 inches, but now from the baseline I'm marking 8 inches downwards, which is my hip line. And now I'm taking my hip measurements, or rather I'm taking my shape measurement. My shape measurement is 28 inches, but I removed 2 inches because this fabric is really stretchy. I just divided that measurement by 2 instead of 4 that I would have divided it by if I was making a regular skirt. So I just divided that by 2. I did the same thing on the hip line. I divided my hip measurements by 2, but I removed 2 inches before I did that. Now for the bottom part of my skirt, I simply subtracted 3 inches from my hip measurement. My hip measurement is 38 inches. Minus 3 inches is 35 inches. And then remember that I removed 2 inches because the fabric is very stretchy. So I removed 2 inches from that, and that gave me 33 inches. So that was what I divided by 2, and I marked on the baseline, on the hemline rather. Now I'm just using pins, safety pins, to just pin along that line I created, because I'm going to sew along that line. So it's important that you pin along that line. Just make sure that you follow the line that you marked, because since you're going to sew along that line, you want it to be nice and neat all the way through. So you can use as many pins as you want, as many or as few pins as you want, just so you can achieve the desired effect. Now once that is done, I'm going to just show you the line I'm going to sew on, and I'm going to take another piece of fabric and then I'm going to cut the band. Now the length I have is, I just try to make sure that I have more than enough fabric that will go around my shape measurement. Now my shape measurement is 28 inches, so I have enough fabric to go around. Now I'm just marking the band 5 inches wide. That's what I'm marking now. I'm just making sure that it's 5 inches wide all the way through, and then the length of the band will depend on your shape measurement. So if your shape measurement is 28 inches like mine, you can take 30, 32. It's better for it to be longer than your shape measurements than shorter, and then you have to join it. So bear that in mind. If the band is longer, you can always cut it shorter after you're done inserting the band on the skirt. But if it's too short, you have to join it, and that's not very neat. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just cutting along that line. So like I said, it's 5 inches wide, but the length depends on your shape measurement, because it's going to be a high waist skirt, so you're going to take your shape measurements rather than your waist measurements. Now I'm just going to fold that in half like that, and then I'm going to sew it. You can see how stretchy the fabric is. You want that. Now moving on to the sewing machine, I'm just sewing along that line that I pinned. So as I sew along, I'm just taking out the pins as I go along. Try not to sew the pins, because you know what that means. So just sew gently, take your time all the way to the top. Now the length of the skirts is entirely up to you. You can make your skirt longer. All you have to do is use a longer piece of fabric. The width of the skirt simply depends on your size, so you can definitely make the skirt longer or shorter if you like. It all depends on you. So I just sewed from the bottom all the way to the top, and then I just trimmed out that excess fabric, and then I went ahead to weave it with a weaving machine. Now that's the top part, and that right down there is the bottom part. Now I weave the bottom part as well, and I'm just going ahead to fold it, to hem it, so everything is nice and neat. I'm going to turn this to the right side, and now I'm going to attach my band to this skirt. As you can see, it's already a skirt, just one seam and our skirt is ready. You can literally wear the skirt like this, but I want to put a band so it looks really good. Now I've already ironed the band, folded it in half and ironed it. Now I'm just placing the band at that where the seam starts at the baseline, and then I left some excess of the band before I started sewing. It's important that you leave a bit of excess before you start sewing, because you're going to go ahead and join that excess. So I'm just sewing that all the way around. I placed the band with the skirt right sides facing, and then I just used half of an inch seam allowance to sew all the way around the skirt. And once that's done, I'm just going to take it out. Then I'm going to show you how I went ahead to close up that part of the band. As you can see, I left an excess, so I'm just folding both parts inside. As you can see, it already looks neat. Then I'm turning it to the back side. I'm taking the two excesses, and then I'm just sewing them or joining them together, making sure that everything is nice and neat. There's no zipper in this skirt. It is so easy to make. I honestly did this in 10 minutes, cutting and stitching 10 minutes. It's so easy to make. If you're a beginner, this is for you. It's not as complex as a regular pencil skirt, but it fits just as good. This is amazing, guys. This is so lovely. I really love the fit. I really love how it looks. As you can see, the seam line is at the back, and the sides, there are no seam lines at the back. And you can see I've attached the band, and everything looks really neat and clean. And guys, this is what it looks like. Look at that, so beautiful. I really love how it turned out. I literally wore this exact outfit, this white top and this skirt. I wore it to work, and I got a lot of compliments. So yeah, I really love. As you can see, there's no side seam on that side, no side seam on the other side, and then the seam is right at the back. So it's really lovely, it's really cute. And because it's a stretchy fabric, it got on really easily, and I can take it off easily as well. So that's really cute. I also styled this with a top that I made with this fabric as well. I'm going to show you the top I made with this fabric. This is the top I made with the fabric. It's just a lovely circle top. I have a tutorial on how to make this top. If you want to see how I made this top, then definitely click on the link on the top right corner of the screen right now. There's a link on the top right corner of your screen. Go ahead and click it to watch how I made this lovely circle top. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in my next one.